Welcome to the final episode of Season 1 of Just Talk with Gabe. I'm here, my sidekick is here, and so is our guest comedian and host, Chinedu. So, make sure you grab your snacks, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And if you're tuning in on Anchor.fm, leave me a message. You may just be featured in an upcoming show in the next season. And check out our listener feedback to see who has already been featured. Chinedu, welcome to the show. We are glad you could join us for an episode of Just Talk with Gabe.
I'm honored to be here, man. Thank you for having me, Gabe.
Thank you for being on. So I know our listeners want us to dive right in, so let's get into it.
All right. Let's get into it.
So since we have been in lockdown, what's the one thing that you've been missing during quarantine?
I have been missing live shows, honestly, the most. To see the actual laughter from the crowd is what I've been missing the most during this entire ordeal, I would say.
Oh, that I think that's an interesting point there. I think Gabe, the one thing, what have you been missing?
I want some Chipotle.
That's it, Chipotle.
Nothing.
Chipotle.
Yeah, I just want some tacos.
Man, I honestly don't fault you, man. I love tacos too, man, and Chipotle is good. I ain't gonna lie.
Yep. You are a comedian, a host, and stuff. So, like, how did your personal journey start?
I want to say I've always loved comedy since I was a kid. It was kind of like my my refuge, if you will. You know, my childhood. So, you know, when you're going through it, it doesn't seem rough though. But you know, there were definitely a lot of rough moments growing up. And laughter always kind of got me through. So I always just loved comedy itself. I always loved comedy movies and laughing. And when I was around 12, 13, was when I first kind of discovered stand-up comedy. I started watching Comic View and seeing people like the Eddie Murphy stand-ups and Dave Chappelle and all those guys. And it's got me hooked in it. And I ended up doing my high school talent show my junior year of high school. I auditioned to be the host because I wanted to try stand-up. I figured being the host, I got the most time to do stand-up between acts. I could tell jokes, work on it, and I ended up getting it. Did stand-up for the first time then, and at that point, I was completely hooked to it. And I had the plan of becoming a comedian. This is 2000. This is a long time ago too. This is 2005 when I graduated from high school.
Wow.
2005, man. Yeah, 2005. That's 15 years ago.
Yeah.
At that point, there was this new thing around that was called MySpace. This was when MySpace had just come out, and I had been hearing about people who were putting content on there, and there was a new app, there was a new thing coming out for college students called Facebook, and that was something I wanted to look into because at the time you had to be a college student in order to be on Facebook at that time in 2005, 2006. So this was these were the emerging social media apps, and I was just coming out of high school, so it was my plan to take a year off, do stand-up comedy, work on videos, because ironically for the talent show, I did a video package to open the show. Like the whole premise was my character couldn't get into the show, that I wasn't on like the list from the security guard, and then the security guard ended up being a phony person. It was a funny bit with it that led me into coming to the show late. So and it was something I really enjoyed. I always thought that videos would do something good because this is when Chappelle's show was like red hot. It was new and everybody loved it. I was like, man, I'm about to go out here and be the next Chappelle and have the next Chappelle show. And my dad found out, that's African dad. He found out, and pretty much scared me out of my dream. I basically want to say, the whole spill, showing the harsh realities. What will you do for food? Money, do you know how much comedians make? To him, he's like, you're not, at that time, the hottest comedians, of course it was Chappelle too, you're not Chappelle or Chris Rock, those guys are already established. And he told me at the time, he's like, this whole video thing, that's not going to pan out, man. It's a fad. It won't be around forever.
Wow.
And, yeah. So, I ended up, being scared out of my dream. So I ended up just, going to college. I don't regret going to college. I went to the University of Houston. I don't regret it at all. It was a great experience, but I always knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. So, I just, I changed my majors a bunch of times, just trying to see whatever career I could get that could pay me the most money, which is never a good idea to do, guys.
Yeah.
If you're in school right now and if you're Googling what pays six figures, that's not the way to figure out your career. Okay. It was, it was just difficult. Just staying in there and knowing what I wanted to do the whole time. And it came to a point I didn't even speak on it for a long time that I wanted to be a comedian though, because I was like, it's not going to happen. Just go to school, get a degree. And so I ended up finishing up at U of H around 2011, I think, or 2012. Ended up finishing there. I ended up getting a job that it wasn't a bad job. It was a pretty good job, But probably I think a month or two later, I ended up getting laid off from that job anyway.
Ooh.
Because this is around the time where the economy took a dip in the field I was working in, and I ended up getting laid off. And so, I felt at that point, I got laid off, and I'm married too at this point as well. So I'm sitting there, I'm married, you're thinking you did everything right, got your degree and all that, and you get laid off. And so my dad's suggestion was go to grad school. And for me, I was like, oh, and get more debt. No. So I'm not going to do that. I felt at that moment when I got laid off and I sat in my car, for me, I realized that you spent all that time in school, you got the degree to end up to avoid ending up in the exact place you're in right now.
Right.
So for me, I was like, since I'm here, you might as well go for what you love anyway, since you're here anyway. Awesome. So the decision was to go for it, and that was in 2012. I made videos every day and did stand-up shows as much as I could, and I did that every day for 5 years. And in 2017, one of my videos finally went viral, and from there, all the other videos went viral as well. People started noticing who I was. They realized I was a comedian. Came out to the stand-up comedy shows, and the rest has been history since.
That's an interesting story.
Very interesting story.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You mentioned African Dad. I know a lot of your comedy is about African Dad. Is that really a true depiction of your dad,
or is it an exaggeration?
Yeah, just a little bit, maybe.
Oh no, it's true. No, it's true. It's that is my dad. People who even know my dad, people that are his age and things like that, they'll tell you, no, that's him. I of course I'll include certain inflections for comedic humor for the video, of course, but those are just about all those are true stories. I think all those true stories. So
what does your dad think about your depiction of him in your comedy?
Well, when he first discovered it, he wasn't too pleased at first. I'll be honest with you. When he found out I was doing comedy, it was his whole, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not gonna pan out. You need someone with some stability, and nothing that's, nothing that will just be, that will be gone with the wind. And so what happened was, and of course, my parents divorced when I was about 5 years old, and my dad he remarried later. I think he remarried and had more kids when I was around 17, junior high school. So my other siblings are a lot younger than me at this point. So at this point, they're what maybe between 8 to 12, 13 years old. Mm-hmm. So at this point, they're online and they just happen to see an African Dad video that I made, because I'm doing videos, but I'm not telling my dad what I'm doing. He just I'm just working on my own stuff, doing shows and all that. And so they end up finding it one day, because I think they end up finding out that I had a YouTube channel. And at that age, kids at that age in YouTube, everyone wants to be a YouTuber. So some of them had YouTube channels and stuff. So they think it's just something cool. Let me follow my brother, and they watched the videos, and then it was of course more than what they expected. They saw episodes of my web series and my comedy videos, and African Dad themselves though, because they live with our dad, so they know this is him. So they're watching this and just cracking up, laughing and just laughing and laughing and laughing. And so they ended up, they're laughing loud enough to where my dad came in the room. What are you guys watching? And then he said, "Oh, we're watching. We're watching Chief. That's what they call me, my family. We're watching him." And my dad sees it, and he just like, of course, immediately calls me, and so, immediately calls me. Not too happy at all, but it was one of those things that what I learned about parents is that they will always give you a hard time about whatever dream it is you have, because for them also, and it might not even be a conscious thing that they do, is like they have to really see that you really are about this dream, because this is your life.
True.
Like, and I feel in most cases, no matter what parent you have, if you are showing that you really are dedicated to whatever it is you're talking about, eventually, somehow, some way, they will at least acknowledge it and to some levels respect what you're doing.
Yeah.
At least, at bare minimum. And so for my dad, it got to a point where he just saw, he was like, okay, well, clearly you're not gonna quit. So I mean, hey, I told you I think it's a waste of time, but do what you do. So I kept going. And so that was in 2014. So we kept going on and things like that. But now you fast forward to now, absolutely loves it. He's so proud. My son is on my son's on the news, the morning show. My son is in this movie. Have you seen him on this? Have you seen his tour? So, it just goes to show that, over time and, of course, certain things happening. Now he's on board. He thinks it's hilarious now, thankfully.
That's good. Awesome. He's your number one fan.
Yeah.
So.
I'd probably say number 7 because he's not.
Besides your dad, where do you find inspiration for your comedy?
I would say everyday life. The majority of my stand-up comedy itself is all self-reflective. So it's always about my life and just my childhood, adulthood, things that I'm going through now, changes in life. But I always just honestly just find a comedy and just general observation, because I feel there's almost humor in everything, and you just sit there and it's all about giving your honest perspective on it in a way that can make everyone laugh.
That's true. That's true.
That is
right.
What do you hope people take away from your comedy, and why?
That it is okay to laugh at pain sometimes, most times, all the time, actually. It's okay. Especially with the tour I have now, Laughter is Healing. Of course, I added the Reloaded logo on it though, because of course, I had to shelf it for a few months because of COVID. But now that, things are, now that we have a better understanding of safety protocols and measures, and I was able to find venues big enough to where I can have people very spread out, so where no one's really in contact with each other, I decided to reload it again. But the main message is that laughter is healing. I'm a firm believer that laughter is God-given medicine to help us get through certain things in life.
That's a good message.
It's
a great message, yeah.
And that's always the main thing I want people to know, that laughter is there for you. Whatever pain you're going through, healing is within you. We want you to laugh at it, find that joy, hold on tight to it, and then push through.
That's true.
That is true.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You're constantly on the road touring. So how important is it for you to connect with your fans?
It's very important. I normally do meet and greets for all my shows. I want to take pictures with everybody. I want to make sure I shake everyone's hand when they go. Of course, this is pre-COVID, of course, but
right.
Going forward now, the all that will be altered to stay in alignment with new rules, guidance, and protocols, of course. But normally for my shows is always very interactive. I wanted to make sure I can shake everyone's hand, see everyone, meet everyone, and just thank each person for coming, because I can vividly remember a time when I was doing a lot of shows and no one was coming. So now that so many watch now and support now and follow now, I want them to always know that they're appreciated.
That's amazing, because I know I look through your Instagram myself. I follow you too, and I see how you interact with your fans on Instagram. A lot of people, a lot of celebrities don't do that, and so that means a lot, whether you know it or not. People, take the time to leave you a comment, and you take the time to respond or like it.
Yeah,
that definitely kudos to you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, and thank you for following me. I appreciate that.
It's a family affair over here. We both like, hey, did you see Chinedu's news video? And we'll like send it to each other. But we're both following you, so
yes, that always makes me happy to hear, especially when I hear that families follow me. That's one of those added bonuses that always makes me happy to always hear.
Since we've had a little extra time on our hands due to the pandemic, have you done any new hobbies or tried anything?
Actually, I have. I've been working on more advanced editing tools right now, just because I love, I pride myself on being a stand-up comedian first, but I'm also a content creator, and I felt that this time and this season, while it put it put being the stand-up comedian on the shelf, but also allowed a chance for the content creator to come out and be more creative and get more work done. Since we're not touring right now and we're all at home, it just gave me a chance to sit down and think of and work on more things that I've been wanting to do, like more web series, more video concepts, more live stream concepts as well. So I felt it was helpful in that sense to further develop the content creator that's in me as well.
That's interesting.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go on a bit of a commercial break.
I guess we will go on a little bit of commercial break. Chinedu, would you stay with us and talk to us some more after the break?
Of course, you got to pay those bills. I understand. Of course.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be right back after this break.
Yep. Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Welcome back, guys. And if you have not downloaded the Anchor.fm,
do
it and start making your own podcast today.
Right. Welcome back
right
to the show.
now, immediately.
Yep.
Do it right now, guys.
Welcome back to the show, Chinedu. All right.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna get into the fun round of questions now.
The fun round of questions. Yes.
Okay. Actually,
first
of all, this one's actually serious. Forget what I just said.
Okay.
Corn or flour tortillas?
Oh,
Which one?
Serious.
Oh, flour tortillas for me.
Okay, I'm
flour.
The oddball, corn.
No, flour.
Yes.
Because the thing with corn tortillas, they're good though, but like I don't like the way they crumble sometimes. Like a flour tortilla, is made to hold the weight of all the things in there sometimes. And sometimes the flour one will kind of like come apart midway, and now you got like a half torta, and now I'm upset. You know what I'm saying? I want my taco.
That's true. That's true. But I'm telling you, if you guys like Lupe tortillas, they have the best corn tortillas on the planet.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with flour.
All right.
I'm gonna try them though.
Okay.
The corn tortilla. I will try that.
What's your favorite city?
Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the funniest thing you've ever seen or heard while on tour?
I had someone dress up as a giant pan dulce at one of my shows before. That was that was hilarious because like they came to the show and they're like, hey, because I had like a meet and greet line. Like they came regular, but they was like, hey man, I got a costume I wanted to show you. And I was like, I bought it as soon as I saw that video. And I was like, what are you gonna come at? He came as a giant concha. I don't know where he got this costume from.
Awesome.
But it was amazing. I was like, dude, this is he like, will you sign it? I was like, of course, I have to. What do you mean?
Oh, that was awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah. It's time to write the story of your life. So who will play you and why?
Man, who would play me?
Uh-huh.
Probably Chadwick Boseman, I would say. I would like him to play me.
Yeah. That's a good pick.
That is a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which fictional character would be the most boring to meet in real life?
Let me see. Probably the most boring. Okay, give me 10 seconds. Because there's actually a few I have. I'm like, man, I think it would really be boring, like, because it didn't really. Okay, I will say this. I would say probably Captain Ahab and Moby Dick.
Oh yeah.
Just being out in the because it sounds exciting in theory, but you're just out in the water all day. You're just out there, and like there's no TV, there's nothing going on. You're just there. Everybody smells.
Yeah.
And then when there's finally some action, it's really like kind of like, well, this is exciting, but I could also kind of die, you know. So it's like, so it's like, this sucks.
Captain Ahab would,
that's a good pick.
That's a good pick.
Yeah. You could take 5 things to a desert island. What would they be?
5 things to a desert island.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The first things I would take would be Aladdin's genie, the lamp. I would take it's 5 things, right? 5 things?
Right. 5 things.
Okay. 5 things. I would also take a giant beach resort. I transfer it. I uplift it. I take it. I would also take a Chevy pickup truck, because I gotta get around.
Yeah.
And a cell phone. Cell phone with dope Wi-Fi.
That's 4 things.
That's 4. That's 4 things. Oh, it's 5th, and the 5th one would be it would have to be a camera. Got to make videos.
Oh yeah.
Got to make videos.
Mm-hmm. But how are you gonna get off the island?
That is what the Aladdin's lamp is for. I'm gonna get him. Boom, boom.
Okay.
Yeah. Got that.
You got me. You're thinking.
Like, Genie, get us out of here.
Who is your favorite comedian?
Dave Chappelle.
Okay. Yeah. If you had to become an inanimate object for a year, what would the object be?
I would. That's a good question.
If
I could be an inanimate object for a year.
For a year, what would you be?
I would love to be. I would love to be a statue in a major park, just to see all the different people, walks of life, different things, the festivals, all that, like year round. That, I think that would be pretty good. Like in like a really like bustling park, or maybe somewhere in Times Square.
That would be.
You could people watch.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah, people watch all day. There's always something to see. I could be that bull that's in Times Square. That one right there. It'd be be that boy, or the Statue of Liberty.
You see a lot. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. What is the most ridiculous thing someone has tricked you into believing?
I have to say that would be my dad. He tricked me into believing that I could not be a successful comedian.
There you go.
Yep.
I definitely would think that one. Just to go along the lines of that you have to go to college and you have to follow a certain path to be successful. Mm-hmm. Not saying school isn't important, because school is important, but every path doesn't have to involve you getting a master's or a PhD or spending 10 years of your life in school. You know, some things, if you have the dream and you work hard, you can achieve it, but it's not going to come easy either way, you know?
That's true.
That's true. What advice would you give to people who want to become a comedian?
I would say first, and I don't even mean for this to be funny. Do not quit your day job if you want to be a comedian. I would say make sure that job is secure. Always be honest with your perspective, because honestly, paying comedy really sucks until so you never want to be that person. I'm gonna just quit my job and just give it a shot. Do not do that. Right. But I would say work the job, make a budget for comedy stuff. Because to be a comedian, you do have to invest in it somewhat. I would say, use that job, save money, get yourself a good camera, a good laptop, make your online presence known. Of course, funny videos, commentary. And when it comes to your stand-up, just be honest. Be yourself. Don't copy other comedians. Express your voice from your perspective, and always be true to yourself.
That's great.
That's great. Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. Chinedu, 2020 has been, historic on so many levels, with the pandemic, with the movements that are going on now, and we're only like 7 months in.
Oh God.
Yep. I know, man. It feels like we've been here for like 3 years already.
Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm. It really does. How do you think future generations will view this year thus far?
Well, I think about this often. Well, all the things that have happened this year, I sit back and I just tell myself that I know for a fact that what's going on in this year, this is going to be in our kids' history books a decade from now. It's gonna be in there. Yeah, it's gonna be a whole chapter. Like, I'm waiting for my daughter to come home one day and say, "Hey, we're talking about the coronavirus in 2020 and all that," and it's it's very very important to me that we all do what we can do to make sure we make this a positive 2020, and make sure we do all we can to make sure the next generation, when they view this, they'll at least say, hey, it started off bad, but hey, at least they ended strong, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the one thing you want your fans to know about you?
That I truly love comedy. This was never a plan B, plan C thing. Like, I wanted to do this ever since I was 12 years old. And when I say that I give my all to the comedy and all my efforts, that I want you guys to truly believe it. I care about every single fan, and I'm not a perfect person, but I always just want my work and things to know, always to highlight that just because you're not a perfect person does not mean you can't do great things.
Mm-hmm. Awesome advice.
Yeah. What can we expect next from you?
Currently now, we just released the dates for the Laughter is Healing Reloaded tour last night. Actually, just upload those dates. We've condensed the calendar, condensed it to certain dates, and they're spread apart to, of course, ensure that many people have time to quarantine check, be sure that nothing is contracted or anything like that. And of course, the venues are modified, altered for COVID protocols. So it's the tour. Currently working on the taping for the third special, and right now, and ironically, this was the summer that we're supposed to begin production for African Dad the movie. However,
wow,
yeah, that was scheduled to be filming. We're supposed to film this month. It's supposed to start in July. Pre-production is supposed to begin in March, and we're supposed to start filming in July with the expectation of a January release date. That was the original plan. However, we've delayed it, and we're just actually gonna be re-meeting to set up our new production date for 2021. The movie will still happen. It will just literally just be a year late. So that's just but it will still be on the way, and I'm very, very excited about it.
Oh wow, we can't wait.
Yep.
That's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before you go, can you tell everyone where they can find you on social media and where they can see you on the news in the mornings, and where they can buy your merch and so on and so forth? Where can they find any and all things Chinedu?
Okay, no problem. You can find all things Chinedu, of course, at my website, www.chineduogu.com. My first and last name.com. You can find the links to my tickets there, links to my videos on there. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Everything is my first and last name at Chinedu Ogu. You can also catch me on the #1 morning show in Houston, H-Town Rush, on Channel 11 weekday mornings from I believe from 4:30 to 7 a.m. We're on there. I'm normally on around 6. You can also catch me on the #1 sports show in our city, Sports Extra Sunday nights. I'm very happy to always to be a part of KHOU, great TV station, and all merch, everything like that's available at the website as well.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, thank you
for being on.
Yeah, thank you for being on. We have truly enjoyed talking with you. And when everything starts going and the movie gets up and running, would you definitely come back on the show?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
It would be my honor.
Likewise. And let us know how we can help promote, and we're on it too.
Yep.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you again, guys, for having me.
Thank you so much. Well, you take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
See you soon. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Did you enjoy our season finale with Chinedu? Well, if you aren't following him, stop listening now and head over and add him to your list. We are thankful for his time, and I thank you guys for making season 1 amazing. Stay tuned for season 2, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. Bye.